Welcome to Professional Networking on the Web. This is our kickoff meeting for 2014. Excited to have everybody here. Our goal is to help increase sales by sharing and learning new technology that helps us become more effective and responsive in today's market. The topic today is what is trending for 2014. Start is going to be computer voice interface. Are you talking to your computer yet? If not, please start doing it. And if you're over 40, you will notice that there is a reluctance to asking simple questions. You will pick up your phone. Instead of saying, tell me the best coffee shop in Raleigh, you will go coffee shops in Raleigh best or something like that. It's a fascinating phenomenon I've noticed. Learn to change your behavior to ask natural questions because the technology is already there with Google Now and other tools. Of course, we have a new movie out called the movie Her. Anyone seen that? Of someone building a relationship with the computer. One of our first introductions was Siri. Anyone have Siri? Ask it questions. What was it designed to be? Your personal assistant, right? Google's Now, and you want to be practicing and working with this. This is really important. Who's used OK Google and Google Now? Anyone yet? OK Google. Who's the president of the United States?
Barack Obama is the president of the United States of America.
OK Google. Beam me up, Scotty.
I cannot do it, Captain. I do not have the power.
I cannot do it, Captain. I do not have the power. So this is one of the little, they call them Easter eggs in the system. What I recommend is start using this. It's available. I shared it in the community. You can find it on my website. Get this installed and running. This is a real advantage of Google has because it's drawing on semantic search to give them a competitive advantage. And if you came to my talk, hopefully on Google Hummingbird, you'll know that it is, to me, the first level of artificial intelligence in the palm of our hand. You want to be learning about it and starting to use it so you understand the concept. And, of course, Google Glass. Google Glass uses the voice system as well. So this is, to me, one of the important trends to use. What does it mean for you as a business? Start talking to your computer in natural language, especially looking up your own business and looking up businesses like you to see how they're showing up on the web, because you want to be thinking of generating content that answers these questions in this system. Marketing. The trend is just like Google Now. One of the goals is to anticipate what we want before we want it. They're working towards that. So watch for that this year. And there's going to be more contextual computing, Google Hummingbird, which utilizes things like Google Now. The biggest thing I see that we'll talk about a little more is that the large marketing companies have and learn something beyond interruption advertising. Our tolerance for being interrupted is going down. When we have to wait to see the video, we don't want it. They're going to have to learn to do new things. And they don't want to change just like the rest of us. A large marketing company, when you go to see an article on new technology, I don't want to hunt for the skip button. And I'm not looking at their stuff. I'm now an upset customer looking at their stuff, which is the worst state to be in to market to me. So the understanding of how interruption advertising needs to be upgraded, to me, is one of the most important discussions to have. Because you go to see the Wall Street Journal or any larger magazine, what are you looking for? The skip button. No one's stopping and going, oh my gosh, I need that. They're actually putting you in a state that's non-desirable to sell, and they're interrupting us. And I think we're going to see the smart businesses are going to start working with this and realizing we must do something else. What are some of the answers to that? It's going to be delivering at the right time the information we need so we can make the right decision. We want to know what other people have to say about the product. An example to me of this beginning is, have you ever looked up a product on Google? Those are paid ads, those product listings, but they come with the reviews. So you're looking at the product and you're seeing the reviews. You're giving me part of what I want to make a decision. If you manage those reviews so they're less gamed and more authentic, I will trust it more. To me, this is the beginning of this. And they are. I'm seeing businesses who are trying to game the system reviews. Thank you for New York going after marketing companies trying to fake reviews. Well, I hope to see more of that. Authentic reviews are going to make or break our business. We on the other side need to be attracting raving fans and make it easy for them to give honest reviews. There's no option for this. We're going to see more greater personalization that's going to occur, and there'll be a balance between they're going to have, if they want personalization with us, they're going to have to secure that data. You can't just ask for that data and not make sure it's secure. So there's going to be a back and forth that's going to occur here as well. Please watch the video with David Amerlin on what's beyond interruption advertising. That's the beginning of the start. Love to get your comments. I'll share it in the community on LinkedIn. What next? Cloud-based. Cloud-based productivity tools, even with the concerns of risk, the payoff and convenience is so great. I'm saying it's going to keep going. I'm a big advocate of the second verification systems. I teach all over the state. When I sign into Google, it gives me a SMS text, and I make sure to not validate that computer as a place to sign in. That at least is a secondary a way to secure my sign-in on Google. If you haven't done it and you travel, I highly recommend it, especially for you if you're teaching. You can basically sign in with Chrome. You get the secondary validation system that works, and then you can wipe out all of your content when you leave. Now, is this 100% secure? No, they could have something in it, but it's a little bit safer than before that. That's some of the things that we're talking about here is we need better passwords and security are going to be needed. There's some cool stuff coming down the pike. Let me just show this one on Wired. Just want to notice this is an example of something that plugs into the USB that you carry with you for added security. It's a added password key that you have to have the physical one to verify you can access the computer. So I have to plug it in. It'll check it for security.
The third level of security.
Third level of security. Yep. You physically have. Yep. So that's it. Simple examples most of us use. Evernote, Dropbox, Google Drive, Google Docs. Ho's been working with that for a while, right, Ho? With cloud, using a cloud-based system that creates 100% accountability. Chromebook is a great example of a product built around the cloud. And there's the Chromebook right there, the Samsung. It basically, they give you 200 gig free for the first 2 years to try to get you hooked for more. You've got a system that works on a very tight Unix-based operating system with almost no extra features to it. It's really quite designed, difficult to hack to start. Basically, a hardware machine designed to run off the web is what it is. And that's an example of Google starting brilliantly with the phone and working their way back to the laptop. I thought they have a desktop, but I don't think it even sells that well. It's a Chrome desktop module that works. So that's an example of it. The operating system war will continue to wage on. And I just want to state, I believe Windows 8.1 is such a great example of the company not in touch with their customer, not courting the customer from the old world to the new world. Major flaws on all the platforms. Google fails it, Facebook fails it, LinkedIn fails it. They all fail it. If you want the over 40 crowd with most of the concentration of the money, you need to start paying attention. If you give them something new, they're not just going to go, gosh, that's great, I can hardly handle, excited to use it. Build a bridge from the old to the new, or you're going to have pushback and you have to spend crazy amounts of money to put your product in every James Bond and every other movie on the planet. I don't know if you noticed, but every TV show, sitcom there is, they've got a Windows tablet, folks. If they had, in my view, had done their homework and built that bridge from the old and new and went, they love the start button, don't take that away from them, they would have saved millions of dollars. I would have personally handed them but they've done this more than one. But I want to tell you, this is the example, the competitive advantage a small business has because the larger companies can't stay in touch with their customer at the level a small business has. So just really know that's such a great example. And who else did that? Another one, I love my story. My wife used to go to J.C. Penney's. Another great example of disconnect from the customer. I was in there and saw the audience. It's generally an over 40 crowd of business professional women who want to buy clothes and not look like a hooker. You know, that's important to them. And so now, and if you listen to all the people on Wall Street waxing poetic about what happened with Penny's, no one gets the obvious. That he was disconnected from the customer. He built a store that pleased him personally, that was without any bridge from the old to the new. We're changing it. And then he even got a representative, Ellen DeGeneres, which nothing wrong with her, but none of the women I meet in the store identify with her. Do you see? So he even got something they don't connect to. Only a large company can make this type of bad decision over and over again. Again, the argument for smaller businesses that are more in touch have the chance of being more in touch with reality. They aren't always there. They can drive their heads in the sand as well, but they can change more quickly and adapt. So this is an important thing in understanding this. Even though we're talking about the operating system war, this is an example of we have an advantage if we're willing to change and adapt in a smaller company. Which asks the question, will Unix come on the scene? I want you to watch that, folks. Basically, everything we use in our life runs on a Unix operating system, generally called Linux, folks. Our entire world runs on it. It's one of the most stable systems. Mac runs on it, or most of our phones run on it. I think this is prime time for a company to step forward with a Ubuntu operating system, with some hardware put together that just screams and works reliably. Chromebook is basically built on the Chromium open source platform, folks. Open source community adding into the Chromebook. It's not like it has no problems. You still can't run Photoshop on it or anything like that. But for $200 to $250, you got a computer you can use. This is a huge breakthrough here. So just know this is something that we'll see more of. And then, of course, what you brought up, the other thing is Mac. They invested in the youth enough that it's now gonna, it's really a quality cult following that's not going to be. It's a solid religion that won't shake for quite a long time, as long as they can keep that thing working. The biggest thing is functionality. So tablets, cheaper, smarter, greater adoption is the view I see. More and more people integrating with their life and business using tablets. The customer's first impression of the small business is going to be on the smartphone. We got to get everybody on the maps. I've been preaching that for 5 years in towns, and I still find I go into a town and they aren't on the maps. This is critical. This is the Chamber of Commerce wants to make as big a difference in their town, train their people, get them on the maps, get them to put photos, and get the honest townspeople just give honest reviews with each other. The social signal impact will be economic development right there. But it's still, again, what you see is it's tough. The adult learners are slow in taking up something new. Google, to me, needs to really put more emphasis on educating on people. I'm still looking. I hope to speak to someone at Google who's in charge of this and go, guys, I'm a top reviewer in the triangle with Google. I'm proud of that. But unless you start educating the businesses on how to set this up, it's, to me, a big fail in my community. You've got to put some more resources. Excellent. So you're a great point, Whitney, is the tablet is the new newspaper at the table now. Good. The small business has to train themselves to live in this parallel universe we have. We are simultaneously in both worlds, and the people who are willing to make the effort to do it will have a competitive advantage of those that won't. It is what's going on and how to make it work. And it's part of my passion is how to get people successful, have fulfillment, and live in the technology world we exist in today effectively. A great example of this is I went into a small town clothing store. The chamber took me around to see some of their customers, the businesses. I walk in the door, a woman's almost knocks me over with her handheld phone asking, do you still have these boots? And what had happened is the store had posted on Instagram that they only had 5 of a certain type of boots and she was racing to get them. That's social media in action. And then what was occurring is across the room was a young lady with a tablet taking Instagram photos of a little display she put that got out fresh and was ready. When I talked to the store owner, she had gotten into this kicking and screaming. One of their younger customers grabbed her phone, loaded Instagram, said, "Show us, we'll buy." And then several months later occurred before she had a lull and she was willing to do it. You know, the resistance, what's to me, the businesses are going out of business in part not willing to learn new things more than actual economic problems I see. So that's to me one of the things is why I encourage groups like this. This is a mandatory group to have. A regular meeting where we're sharing technology like this. I want to see these in every town at every chamber where they have a once a month sharing system like this for technology. So that's one thing with the tablets. It's moving. Get accustomed to it. And of course, it's affordable. The Nexus system, Nexus 7 is 225 or 30 bucks. And sometimes you can get it for less. So wearable technology, we'll see more of it. It's to me in its infant stage. You know, the smartwatches. Fitbit was a great example. You walk, it keeps track. Terrible in customer service in my view, but Fitbit has a great product. They pretty much hide from you if you ever need help. But if it works, it's terrific. Samsung Watch, Google Glass, the physical and digital world are converging more. Just watch for it. And that's just something we'll see more of in this year coming on. And I've seen some fun backlash on Google Glass. Well, people won't like it and they aren't allowed in coffee shops with it. Folks, it's look, you know, as human beings, we will come up with any excuse known to man to avoid learning a new behavior, folks. I've just learned human nature. We will just come up with, well, the devil sent it because you don't want to learn something new, you know? So I've really figured out, I've got our number as Homo sapiens, and we would rather suffer with something that doesn't work than learn a new behavior, as our thrown behavior. So just know it's coming. All right, image sharing. You brought up video. Video is really important, and there's still a lot of people who would rather read something than even see a video. So I want to balance them both. There's a lot of people who spend money who still want to read something. So video is real important. Images are real important. And the big missing gap in this is the businesses not learning how to slow down and take a little bit better picture. It's amazing. That's why I developed a course on it for business owners, photography for social media and video. And the bottom line is just learning to have it. You know, the store owner, Whitney and I go to Sola, and John, the store owner, said, you know, I fought it. And now I go, that's the story. I get my phone out, I take a picture or video, and I get it online. And so he's broken through the behavioral change needed. So this is an important thing to note. And Google Plus. Lots of people claiming it's still crickets on Google Plus. What's happening is I want to break down who's over on Google Plus to show you the first adopters. I think this is important. If you want to reach me, the best way to reach me is on Google Plus. I believe, I don't think Facebook's going to go out completely. I think it's going to get more into the gaming and cute puppy, and there's nothing wrong with seeing cute pictures of kittens and stuff. It's just, in my world, my values are now a little different with this. So I think we'll see more of the serious people over in Google. And who is indexing Google? Google is indexing Google Plus. Or who is indexing Google Plus? Google is. Do the simple math, they own it. The people we're seeing as early adopters are photographers and amateur photographers. They have massively courted those people. They're all over there. Google knew pictures were important, so they went to the top people in the world and made them feel loved on Google. Their photos are not treated as well on Facebook. They're compressed. They don't look as good. Google went out of their way to make it so a pro photographer's photos look great on Google+. Think about that. That was really smart. First adopters of the web and technically minded people, including social media people, are one of the earlier adopters that you'll find over there. All Google employees and anyone smart enough to build relationships with them, did you hear what I said? In technology, are over in Google+. You see? Larry Page on down is on Google Plus. Then anyone who wants to comment on YouTube now, big backlash on that. I can't just call you curse words because now I have to be a person on Google Plus, to sign in. I'm not complaining about it. Most of the rants are rants with profanity I don't use, complaining about YouTube not letting them just carry on like they used to. So I know some people don't like it, but look, what are you paying for YouTube? I'm sorry, it's free. They have some license here. The other thing is, anyone bought an Android phone, basically, if you want to back it up your photos, it's going to Google Plus and requires you to sign up. Important piece here. It doesn't mean they're active user, but they don't care. They're going to slowly assimilate us. Anyone who wants to leave a review of a business has to be on Google Plus. Yes, that's a drag for a lot of businesses, but get on board. It's worth it. I mean, you're getting several grand of free advertising just for learning something new. It's not a horrible thing. If Whitney, this were Yellow Pages, it would, in a large city, it would cost several grand a month to maintain a listing that could show up top of Google and people do reviews and have photos and videos on it. So
Google, you might as well face it, is the new ideal. Okay. And you gotta have one in the cyber community, so just go get signed up for a Google account.
And again, I'm not that Google does no sins. I'm just giving you the reality of life. The smart business person has their opinion and then knows what pays their bills and pays attention to them. So
let's do a quick survey. Who's on Facebook?
Oh, I am. Yeah. Yeah.
You're on Facebook?
Yeah. Yeah. Who's on Google Plus?
Who's on Google Plus?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not me.
See? Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
You
I
said
don't
you
know
were
a
behind the
compelling
times.
reason.
I get it.
I found a compelling reason. Nobody I know is on there. And
Yeah.
Well, whether you use Google Plus or not,
Resistance is
Resistance is
well,
futile.
no. I mean, it's active on Google Plus. That's
I'm
what
active.
survey.
Oh, no. The only way to reach me is on Google Plus.
Right. You don't have a phone? I saw you have a phone over there.
Only way to reach me on that. No, actually, she answers the messages mostly. You want to get me, get on Google Plus. Deeper Google integration with emails happening. Bloggers and podcasters are on it. And the coolest thing ever with Google Plus is the new ability here to add comments on your website. Let me just show you. David Amerlin's site here. If we look down here and look, and I want to post a comment, it requires me to have Google Plus. If I do it, it continues the conversation on Google Plus. The conversation goes on, and now massively reduction of auto spam problems that occur. So more customer service. We're going to see more customer service related to social media, on the web, using Twitter. The businesses are getting with it or not. My favorite one is my bank listed me as dead when my father passed away. And the best they could do is a simple apology. That one good enough. I wasn't getting a response. I got on Twitter and said, it's one thing my father passes. The next you start shutting down my accounts, claiming I'm dead. I got a phone call in a half an hour and we started to actually resolve it. So a piece to understand. Yeah. Lines between education and formal education and informal education are blurring. I am watching this. My stepson Emery is 32, brilliant, and he wants to learn what he needs and then implement it now. Listen to that. This idea of interactive learning, a asynchronous learning system is what we're going to see more of. Pay attention to it. It's coming down the pike. It's also why our social media management training requires a project, and you could use a paid project if you want. So in the class, you can make money. A little sales for my class there. Did you notice that? That's called embedded marketing. The last things I want to bring up, because I want us to have a chance to go around, is crowdsourcing. Watch it. What we're going to get is the politicians trying to control it. We want to vote no to this. We want to make sure it's safe, but we want it available. It's power to the people and having money to invest in. Our attention is getting more expensive, and shopping, I'm excited to hear shopping local is getting sexier with more people. I heard someone that said, I've got to get rid of my franchise and be local because they're buying from truly local owned and operated businesses. I love that. Now, nothing wrong with franchises. It's a sign. So let's keep reviewing local businesses, caring about local businesses, and make the effort to say, I'm at a local owned and operated coffee shop. Bring the attention to your neighbors when you go there. Let's go around the room, insights and actions, and wrap it up. And then also, this is what the group's about. You know, we meet the second and fourth Tuesday of every month. Please register before Monday so Colleen gets a count, so we don't have we have to know how many people are here. They get the room. They really need a few days notice. And we're moving forward with this. It's a great start for the new year. Professional networking on the web, sharing technology, teaching each other technology, and making more money with it.